Okay. 20 seconds or 30 seconds then.
Is it raining where you're at?
Honestly, I don't really know. I haven't gotten outside. When I got here, it was kind of like sprinkling, drizzling.
Oh, it's sprinkling right now. Sprinkling
I haven't.
raining.
Yeah, I haven't really checked it yet, so
I like sprinkling raining to wake up to.
it is nice. We got 5 seconds. All right, let's listen to Mitch.
That's right. It's the morning show here on ABC News Radio KMET 1490 AM. Joining our live audience there on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube TV, Periscope TV, and Alexa. Glad to have each and every one of you on today's show. A little bit later, we're going to be talking to Father David Guffey, who is a USC film grad. And we're going to be talking to him about a very interesting story about Father Peyton, who evidently goes back to the days of George Lucas, William Shatner, and many more in the days of the time that people were like, who are these people? Which, oddly enough, is an interesting story about an untold Hollywood story that involves the collaboration of three entertainment figures all the way back in the 60s, I believe, 60s and or 70s. So we'll be talking about that around the corner. And interesting documentary here, which we'll be featuring, and especially when you think, did you ever know them when, right? Whenever you know certain people when, before they get famous, before they get to be who they're meant to be and or going to be. I think it's always interesting to find out the discussions before that and how sometimes things can start off as simple as in family theater, and or on television. So we'll be talking about that a little bit around the corner at the half-hour mark. We got Mr. Jesse Sanchez there. Good morning, Jesse.
Good morning.
Today, special day of days. The day after the day that we go, what happened to the voting of the keeping the time change?
Right?
Why did we have to skip and lose an hour? It is National Napping Day, and Everything You Think Is Wrong Day, National Kansas Day, National Paris Helene Day, and National Shoe the World Day. Of these, which will you celebrate, Jesse?
Let's go with National Take a Nap Day.
Okay, National Napping Day.
I love it.
That's right. Needed rest can make you feel better, improve your mood after having an extra amount of sleep. Of course, you've got a person that will notice that they need more energy throughout the day. Numerous studies have shown that short 10 to 20-minute naps are the most effective when midday fatigue hits. Improvements in alertness, productivity, mood have been shown to improve with this type of snooze. If you need a quick snooze, I highly recommend doing it for sure. William Anthony, a Boston University professor, and his wife Camille Anthony created National Napping Day in 1999 as an effort to spotlight the health benefits to catching up on quality sleep. So that's interesting, especially after the day, at least here on the West Coast, and you usually across the U.S. because, of course, you've got daylight savings time that ended or something. I don't know. I know my mom was like, didn't we vote on that? And wasn't there a vote to get rid of it? When are they going to start implementing that? So I don't know. But so if you find yourself a little moody more than most, know that it's that. If you're in Arizona, you're probably like, same old, right? Because in Arizona, they don't change, right? It stays the same. I like Arizona. I love Arizona, actually. One of the best places to go have a vacation at. Let's see. We got Diana Chenevier, who's tuning in, says, good morning, everyone. Greetings from the Emerald Coast of Northwest Florida aboard Crown Prince. Yes. Maria says, good morning, everyone. Hope you all had an awesome weekend. Very good. Stephanie Reed says, hello, happy editing this glorious day for today's awesome busy day ahead. Awesome. Good to have you. And Rosalie says, happy Monday. Cardivos in social media there says, good morning, sir. Good morning to you, sir. Good to have you. All right, lots of stories. Top one of the hour. The nominations for the 93rd Academy Awards were announced today. And 70 women received a total of 76 nominations, according to the Academy, a record for a given year. 2 women, Emerald Fennell and Chloe Zhao, were nominated in the directing category in the same year for the first time. Zhao is the first woman of color to be nominated in this category. Mank, which is Netflix's black and white drama about screenwriter Herman J. Mankiewicz. Development of the screenplay for Citizen Kane led among the nominated film with 10 nods. Of course, it's notable that Leslie Odom Jr. for One Night in Miami, Daniel Kaluuya, and Lakeith Stanfield for Judas and the Black Messiah were all nominated in the Best Supporting Actor category. Husband and wife stars Nick Jonas and Priyanka Chopra Jonas announced the nominations live from London. This year's ceremony was delayed because of the pandemic, but it will air Sunday, April 25th on ABC. So we've got the stories here ready to go. And Jesse, are we good to go? I know you got a call there. Was it somebody that we were supposed to interview?
Oh, no. That's just our future guest. He's all excited to come on. So he was like, oh, I'm excited. I'm too early.
Yeah. Okay. I was like, because I don't want to miss a potential. One time I had a whole calendar set up and all of my interviews got like deleted and I didn't know from day to day who I was interviewing. So there you go. All right. Best picture. Let's go and actually let's before we get to the best picture, let's go ahead and go to okay, Jesse, whenever you do get to look at the Oscars, which is one of your favorite categories?
Okay, I'm just gonna say this. I usually just look at best picture and best actor and actress. But honestly, I actually looked at all these movies that were what is this? The Oscars you said?
Yeah.
Oscars, Grammys.
It's okay. Academy Awards. I know it messes everybody up. The award show of the final award show of all the award shows.
Nearly 85% of the movies that are in those award shows I have never seen. I have never heard of.
Yeah, that was the Golden Globes, especially. Well, especially this last year. I feel like we're really out of the loop of this. But it gives you something to check out. All right. So okay, animated. I like the animated features usually. I don't pay attention to makeup and hairstyling, film editing, visual effects, original score, live action short film, animated short film, achievement in sound, costume design, cinematography, production, director, and actress in the lead role. So let's start off with director. Okay, Thomas Vinterberg for Another Round, David Fincher for Mank, Lee Isaac Chung for Minari, Chloe Zhao for Nomadland, and Emerald Fennell for Promising Young Woman. So there you go. Which will you I haven't seen any of those. I agree with you. I can't even vote for that.
The only movie I know anything about is Nomadland. And that was because we were talking about it a few months ago.
Yeah. I gotta check that out. I have to check it out. All right. So there you go. Some things I gotta check out in the meantime. Actress in a leading role. Riz Ahmed for Sound of Metal. Chadwick Boseman for Ma Rainey's Black Bottom. Anthony Hopkins for The Father. Gary Oldman for Mank. And Stephen Yeun for Minari. Actress in a leading role. Viola Davis for Ma Rainey's Black Bottom. Andra Day for The United States versus Billie Holiday. Vanessa Kirby for Pieces of a Woman. Frances McDormand for Nomadland. And Carey Mulligan for Promising Young Woman. Original screenplay, Judas and the Black Messiah, Minari, Promising Young Woman, Sound of Metal, and The Trial of the Chicago 7. Animated feature film. This is one of my favorite categories here. Onward, Over the Moon, a Shaun the Sheep movie for Armageddon, and Soul and Wolfwalkers. So who knew? And then there's a documentary and Best Picture. Here we go. The Father, Judas and the Black Messiah, Mank, Minari, Nomadland, Promising Young Woman, Sound of Metal, and The Trial of the Chicago 7. It's 4? That's 8 nominations there. That's interesting. Do they usually do 8? I don't think they do usually 8. Usually it's like 5 or 6, isn't it? So there you go. Which one do you think should win of the Best Picture, Jesse?
I have no idea. I wish I can screen all these movies so I could wait, do they screen all these movies before they? I wonder how the process works. Like, who picks them?
Yeah, well, Academy Award members actually do. Yeah, which is and it's true. Cardivo says the screeners are starting to arrive. Need to watch them, and if you are in the Academy, you actually do get a chance to vote and get these screeners. I've seen. I'm not in the Academy or inducted, but there you go. Stephanie Reed says I like the film editing and cinematography. You used to, if you were a SAG member, I believe or let's see, how is it? Yeah, you'd be able to get like discount at movie theaters for some of these movies, which oddly enough, I think some of the movie theaters are supposed to be going back to the way it was, right? I believe at the end of the month or something like that. So we'll see how long that lasts. They need them to at least be at the drive-in. The drive-in is clear but they've been showing old movies. I don't know who's charging top dollar for the drive-ins, but they need to stop doing that. They need to just say, you know what, here we go. Because I wanted to watch Wonder Woman at the drive-in, but the drive-in said the cost was too much. So I was like, oh, that's terrible.
Well, that's you need to come to the Van Buren Drive-In in Riverside.
Is that what? How good is that?
They've been showing a lot of the new stuff. They have Tom and Jerry up there, everything that's supposed to be in theater.
So which one is this again?
The Van Buren Drive-In. That's where I go.
I'm going to check it out. The Van Buren. What city?
Riverside.
Okay, good to know. Good to know. All right, people, we got to take a quick break here on the morning show. We'll be right back right after these messages. Stay tuned.
Top Line Industrial Supply, your destination for industrial tools and supplies. We make hoses while you wait, hydraulic, air, water, and custom brake lines. Take advantage of our large selection of fasteners from grade 5 to grade F911 and a full line of stainless steel bolts. Our no-cost outside shop service keeps you stocked at no extra charge. Come by one of our 2 convenient locations in Beaumont and Temecula and visit top-lineindustrial.com. At Top Line Industrial, we don't just sell products, we sell solutions.
Hello, listeners. Christopher here from The Christopher Show. Hey, I want to talk to you a little bit about CBD. Now, CBD is not approved by the FDA as of yet. Myself, as well as millions of other people across the USA, have used it with help for pain, anxiety, sleep, and other conditions. Now, you know, all CBD products are not equal. It really matters on where you get the CBD from. Now, I suggest you get it from a qualified pharmacist, and I happen to know of one. It's at Your Pharmacy and Mobility Solutions in Beaumont, California. They only carry pharmaceutical-grade CBD products of the highest quality. So if you want the best, you go to Your Pharmacy and Mobility Solutions. Their staff is there to help you with all your CBD, pharmacy, and mobility needs. They're located at 1680 East 6th Street in Beaumont, California. Give them a call, 951-845-8252. Once again, it's Your Pharmacy Mobility Solutions in Beaumont, 951-845-8252. Once again, it's Your Pharmacy and Mobility Solutions in Beaumont, California, 951-845-8252.
Mattress Brothers Overstock Mattress Sale. Just $3.99 for a foam encased queen pillow top set. $3.99. Check out Mattress Brothers $3.99 Overstock Sale. Mattress Brothers at 120 West Redlands Boulevard in Redlands. The $3.99 Overstock Sale is on now. $3.99 for a foam encased queen pillow top set. Mattress Brothers also has locations in Hemet, Riverside, and Palm Desert. The $3.99 queen pillow top sale on now.
Are you a self-published author that maybe underestimated the challenges of marketing your own book? I'm Suzanne Lynn, and we help authors sell more books through video interviews and radio advertising. You see, a professional video interview is really an author's secret weapon for marketing because it makes an emotional connection with your reader that can be posted to social media, YouTube, your book's landing page and website, your Amazon author page, and even sent to media to request interviews. We guarantee that video interview will be viewed by a minimum of 3,000 people in your target audience. And let's face it, no one can sell your book better than you speaking about it yourself. Plus, we can run commercials on our nationwide network of radio stations that targets your specific reading audience. Find out more at GiveMyBookWings.com. That's GiveMyBookWings.com. Again, GiveMyBookWings.com.
Welcome back. Yes, it is the morning show here on ABC News Radio, KMET 1490 AM. Glad to have each and every one of you with us. We've got Maria who says, Tom and Jerry was a great movie, so evidently she saw it. Good job. Also says, my brother in Michigan gets the Johnson & Johnson vaccine today. He's there now. My first family member to get that one. Can't wait to follow his side effects. Hope they are none of very few. Yes, absolutely. Julie DeFio says, good morning. Happy Monday. Good morning to you, Julie. Glad to have you with us. Let us know where you're tuning in from. A lot of information out there about vaccines coming out as well. And then, of course, there are some interesting stories still, oddly enough, that are coming out. An arrest warrant was issued for a woman who refused to wear a mask at a Texas bank, saying to a police officer, what are you going to do? Arrest me? So evidently she asked that, and evidently they said, not a bad idea. Police have issued a warrant for the arrest of Terry Wright, 65 of Grants Pass, Oregon. The incident on Thursday at a Bank of America in Galveston was captured by the officer's body camera. Police say they've obtained an arrest warrant on resisting arrest and criminal trespassing charges. Ouch. Now, see, this is where I feel those things kind of get a little out of hand because, of course, the governor said none, and then they're going back and forth, back and forth. Well, Texas Governor Abbott on Wednesday ended statewide orders requiring people to wear face masks in public places, declaring that businesses should decide for themselves what COVID-19 precautions to take on their properties. Many businesses have kept their own mask rules in place. Okay, so do you understand the oddity of this particular story? Because in Texas, this is the problem with information like this. This is the problem with anyway. So you've got a governor that says, okay, in public places, but businesses can do their own thing. Does that make sense?
Oh yeah. I understand what people are thinking, but just like when you go into a business, that's not public space. It's someone's private property. Right?
Well, yeah, exactly. So police said a bank manager called police after Wright refused to wear a mask while inside and then refused to leave the building when asked. The police department on Friday released the officer's body camera video footage. In the video, Wright can be seen standing in the middle of the bank's lobby surrounded by other customers, all of whom are wearing masks. Wright told the officer she had come to the bank to make a withdrawal. The officer asked her to go outside or put on a mask. She refused. Then she said, what are you going to do, arrest me? He replied, yes, for intruding on premises. And then he said, that's hilarious. Wright told the officer the law said she didn't have to wear a mask, which technically she's not wrong. That's where I feel bad for her in some respects, because I've seen people like this kind of go, but they get confused, right? As the officer took out handcuffs, she pulled away, began to walk toward the door. The officer stopped her, forced her to the ground. Okay, see, this is where it goes a little off. After she was handcuffed, she complained that her foot was injured. And she said to the other customers at the bank, police brutality right here, people. Replies of no, and no, it's not. Could be heard. She may have been a little boisterous, it sounds like, right? Like one of those, you know what I mean? The kind that kind of come in and just make a big holler of a nothing, just wear your face mask. It's not that hard. Police said she did suffer minor injuries during the struggle, was taken to a hospital for treatment. Wright told the Washington Post that she has never covered her face inside stores, even when the statewide mandate was in place. Got it. She said she was in an RV park across the bay from Galveston, Hitchcock, Texas. She told the newspaper she was attacked and compared mask requirements to the way Nazi Germany forced Jewish people to identify themselves with the Star of David. She said she believed in a pandemic. Oh, there we go. That's why I get that. In a reference to a documentary-style video in which an anti-vaccine activist promotes a string of questionable, false, and potentially dangerous coronavirus theories. Well, okay, to her credit, I will say this. I will say this, okay? I think they escalated it way too much. Do you understand what I'm saying? Like,
I'm pretty sure they could have handled it a little bit differently and de-escalate the situation, but I don't know, when people start raising their voice and demanding that I don't want to wear a mask. Oh, no, yeah, see. Once they start getting in your face and start like coughing, what if she starts coughing on you?
Yeah. Now that or spitting, or like we've seen those cases, right? Where they're on an airplane, they refuse, and then they like and they cough on other people. That's next level. Like that person, go ahead and lock them up, right? But even then, take them away, and maybe not like prison time. I still think that if anything, they should do community service, right? Maybe.
Or how about, you know what? Remember back in the days when they used to lock you up in the stocks where you're just like, ugh.
Yeah. for me to, yeah, let's not do that. But public shaming, I think that was what that was. I don't know what. Maybe we do need to
consider public shaming. I don't think we do that now, but
maybe we need to bring that back just for a little. I don't know. No, I'm joking. But to her credit, every now and then you see certain people like this that are very, what I call, entitled, right? Or simply throwing caution in the wind left and right, right? And we all know them because we've seen them. I have as well. But to her credit, should she have like put back down to the floor, handcuffed, and done all that? I don't know. These documentaries and some of these other things, conspiracy. I get it. I love to enjoy the latest conspiracy and see what the pandemic is, right? However, knowing friends and family that have gotten and suffered from coronavirus, I still remind people it's still a real disease. It's still something that really can get in somebody. And so you don't want to just be that. Have your situation, but it's just a face mask. That's it. It's a simple piece of, it's nothing. Come on. Are you really going to get in prison over something like that? Back to the situation at hand. Can you blame her, or can you blame the governor for kind of making it a little confusing during a pandemic?
Unless the governor's giving out common sense. I don't know.
But he often doesn't. So that's my point. So there you go. That's my story. I'm sticking to it. Whether you agree or disagree, is it worth it going? Now, again, I do agree with her. It went a little too far for them. Like, lock it. If she wanted to leave and do her thing and become the boisterous woman that you could tell she is, complaining. Hey, you don't have to shop here or go to the bank here. That's your choice, right? We do not want to allow, you must wear, and they often have must wear face mask, right? I've been shot at the moment I went to a gas station because I forgot mine. Hey, I was like, well, you're so rude. But then I thought, oh yeah. So I went out, got my face mask, put it back on. Okay, so there you go. Don't be like that. Use your common sense. And if they ask you to wear a face mask, it's not that hard. Everybody has one now, right? Okay. All right. We'll be right back with more right after these messages. Yeah. Father is going to be joining us talking about Father Peyton. We'll talk about that next here on The Morning Show. Stay tuned.
Who is the Atua Man? Can you imagine exploring spiritual consciousness through an exotic action-adventure story? The Atua Man is masterfully illuminated in this self-discovery novel by John Stevenson. Dive into the page-turning epic hero's journey, weaving together high action with spiritual revelation. Join the Atua Man and his colorful cohorts as they travel through the majestic Hawaii, the hidden mysteries of Polynesia, and the intrigue, starting with the mysterious healing that breeds chaos in London. This journey guides us through the trials of living in the material world, arriving into enlightened consciousness, perhaps glimpse into the fabric of creation. How is the Atua Man affected by the global healing ministry surrounding him? How does he navigate the complexities of love, forgiveness, life and death, wealth and power? Find out in John Stevenson's TheAtuaMan.com, Apple Books, Amazon, Barnes & Noble.
My mom is a breast cancer survivor. The United Breast Cancer Foundation saved her life. Their free breast cancer exam caught the cancer early, and that saved her life. But now the foundation needs your help so they can continue offering free or low-cost breast screening exams, saving more women's lives. Help them by donating your car, whether it's running or not. They'll provide fast, free 24-hour pickup, and you receive a charitable tax deduction, plus the great feeling you'll get knowing your donated car is going to help save more lives. Just call 800-781-0965 to set the wheels in motion. They take cars, trucks, vans, and SUVs, running or not. Call 800-781-0965. The United Breast Cancer Foundation needs your help, and your donation could literally save women's lives, helping them catch breast cancer early, like they did with my mom. Donate today. 800-781-0965. That's 800-781-0965.
KMET AM 1490 presents Beaumont High School football. This Saturday night, March 20th at 5 p.m., Beaumont meets Redlands in a Citrus Belt League game, live from Dodge Stadium in Redlands. I'm Mitch McClellan. Join Brett Malik, Scott Reed, and me as the Cougars meet the Terriers. Beaumont football broadcasts are sponsored by Del Taco Beaumont, Top Line Industrial Supply, Little & Sons Insurance Services, Supreme Auto, the Sandtrap Sports Bar and Grill, Donut Delight, Cherry Valley Nursery and Landscape Supply, CalStar Mobile Home Construction, Truckworks, La Michoacana, Ziggy's Spirit Shop, Scott's Headers and Mufflers, Pericone Juices, Ramona's Mexican Restaurant, and Class Axe Auto Body. That's Beaumont High School football action Saturday night at 4:45 for the pregame show, live from Redlands on your home for Cougar football, KMET AM 1490.
Welcome back. Yes, it is the morning show here on ABC News Radio, KMET 1490 AM. Joining our live stream audience, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, Periscope TV, LinkedIn Live, and much, much more. Glad to have each and every one of you with us. Joining us right now, all the way from the beautiful place of Hollywoodland, is Father David Guffey, who happens to be a USC film grad as well, is speaking about a particular subject which many may not have heard of but should. Good morning. Welcome to the show, Father. Are you there? Okay, we'll try to get him back there. Get him in just a minute. Actually, for those of you wondering, again, there is a very interesting story here, which is one of which you can actually check it out. The Family Theater Productions. And the story is actually available on Amazon Prime, iTunes, Google Play, and it's about Father Peyton's miraculous life, stretching from his beginnings as a poor Irish immigrant to becoming the most famous executive producer and public speaker that many may not have heard of, but oddly enough, do some really good stuff in the entertainment sector. Again, going back to times of George Lucas, William Shatner, and others, which actually participated in this way back when in the, I believe, the 50s and 60s. I could be wrong. We're waiting on Father Peyton to join. I'm sorry, not Father Peyton, Father David Guffey to join us. And so we'll get that going right here, right now, in just a minute, as soon as we get that information with us. Here we go. I believe we're going to go. Can we get him on the line? Here we go. Father David Guffey, are you there with us?
Sorry, some kind of technical glitch this morning.
Yeah,
that we're getting here in Hollywood this morning, but so good to be with you, and thank you so much for the chance to talk about Father Peyton.
Yeah, let's jump right into that. Obviously, Father Peyton, the founder of Family Theater Productions, in radio, TV, and film. This is something that is always close to me because they all really do coincide. Tell us, for those that don't know the man behind the legend, how would you describe him?
He was just a man of incredible energy and vision. He was an Irish immigrant, came from Ireland, poor, broke. He and his brother came to Scranton, Pennsylvania. He got a job in a cathedral. His brother got a job in a coal mine. They both ended up joining a Catholic religious order. They both became Catholic priests. But while Pat Peyton was in his last year of studies, he got severe tuberculosis. So much so that they called his family, thought he was going to die. Well, he didn't die. In fact, he had a miraculous cure, and he attributed his miraculous cure to his prayer to the Blessed Mother, to Mary, the Mother of Jesus. Well, that sent him on a lifelong crusade to try to help families by promoting the Rosary, which is the Catholic religious devotion. But he took that message first to, it just was operating locally in Albany, New York, of all places. But he had a little local radio show that was wildly successful, and he wanted to take that bigger. So he went to the second largest radio network at the time. This would have been 1945, and that network was the Mutual Broadcasting System. Said, I want to do a show. They said, oh, okay, but you have to have this kind of orchestra, and you have to have a really big star, and you have to have this, you have to have that. He said, well, who's the biggest star out there? And they said, well, Bing Crosby. So Father Peyton, this young priest, cold calls Bing Crosby at his home in Beverly Hills and asks him to be on this radio show. And he said yes. So he's on the show. And that led to a weekly radio show with the Mutual Network that was on from 1947 until 1968. And each week was a radio play that told some kind of a story, either comedy or a drama. And each week it featured a really big star. So all these stars were working with Father Peyton on the radio. People like Jack Benny and Bob Hope and Jimmy Stewart and Loretta Young. And just the A-list stars from that era. Most people don't remember the show, but it is on like old-time radio shows and things like that. But the tagline for the show, most people know. The phrase that Father Peyton came up with was, "The family that prays together stays together." And that was just the tagline for a radio show, and later for television and film.
Well, and look, this film, which is available right now, that you can go watch it again, highlights, I believe, if anything, the majority of his faith in the ability, A, to be blessed, and B, to be healed, and of course, taking that next step. Can you talk to me about some of the particular names that he came across? I saw Lucille Ball featured there as well, and a host of others. Can you take me back to some of his stories of when he knew some of these before they were famous?
Yeah. Family Theater as a production company has always worked with people that were well established in the industry, but also finding people with great talent. There was a young actor who'd done mainly stage work. In fact, he was a student at UCLA, and Father Peyton and producers cast him in one of their first TV shows. It was called Hill Number One, and that actor was James Dean. It's the first on-screen credit for James Dean. That show got great reviews. It was even reviewed positively by the New York Times, and had big stars of the time, Irene Dunn and Gene Lockhart, and stars that you would have known if you lived in that time. But it had this unknown young man who went on to be a huge star, of course, James Dean. So that's one of the kinds of stories. A young man named Roddy McDowall was also in that show, and Roddy McDowall went on to have a very storied career in film and television. So those are some of the young people. That continued on through the history. In the 1960s, early 1960s, Father Peyton was making a series of short films on the Psalms from the Bible. And he was working with a young actor who had just come to Hollywood, had done a few things, but not much. And that actor was William Shatner. William Shatner was featured in there were 30 of these short films. William Shatner was in 7 of them. And in fact, he wrote one of them called The Boxer. Dear old William Shatner, I think, just celebrated a big birthday, has the film available on his website even. I think it's williamshatner.com, where you can buy the films, those song films that he was part of. And also working on that production was a young camera assistant who was a student at USC, and that was George Lucas, who went on to direct and produce the Star Wars series and so many other great things. So it's just a long history of working with talented people, both veteran and those just getting started in the industry.
Well, and it's always nice to be able to hear, about yesteryear and find out how and where things started. Take me to Family Theater Productions, which is still operating. I believe you're still helping operate it as well. Can you tell me what it is you do there now?
Sure. We continue the work that Father Peyton did. We continue to produce family media. We do a lot on the internet right now. We don't do so much radio anymore, but we do. We have a couple of internet series, Lente Catholico and Catholic Central, but we've done a lot of films lately. We've done a documentary called The Dating Project. We've done Pray, the story of Patrick Peyton, and other films that we hope kind of give support to families that are looking for hope and inspiration in these times.
Well, I mean, it's not hard to do radio anymore. I remember listening to one of the other channels growing up, and we would hear at, between 9 and 10 o'clock, you had like drama series, right? And I think it'd be kind of cool. I've seen some of the Bible stories lately because my mom's been watching them, I believe, on Roku, and of other really interesting things. I think it'd be kind of cool to bring that back to, it's not hard. Just take the audio from a digital recording and then, ramp it up. I mean, the radio was different back then because you made sounds particularly for, or the horses, galloping or something.
Okay.
But
Right.
now you got a whole audio list of things that you could use in place of that. But what would you like to see going forward, especially during coronavirus? Because I feel like these things are really necessary, especially now.
Oh, I just am so glad that we're able to provide content. I think it's been a time where a lot of people have turned to content on radio, on podcasts, on YouTube, as well as the traditional mainstream media like broadcast networks. And it's just been a time where so many people have found such support and entertainment and rest and education. It's been a great time. And I hope as the pandemic subsides and we go back to face that people continue to remember to look for the best of what there is out there, because there's a lot of great stuff out there.
Yeah, I'm currently now subscribed to your Family Theater Productions on YouTube, so thank you for having that. People can also visit you online. How can they find you?
For the movie, it's praythefilm.com, and that will take you to everything else. The movie about Father Peyton is praythefilm.com, and that will lead you to everything else Family Theater.
Now take me to something that I know probably a lot of people don't necessarily discuss, but you in your own practice of your own faith, I think a lot of people fail to ask what it is that moves you to do what you do. Can you share with me your moment that you knew that you felt you were called to the faith?
Sure. It's hard to give it a single moment because it kind of grew throughout my life, but I was in college and coming to the end of my college, and I had a stack of information about law school on one pile on my desk, and I had a stack of stuff about Catholic seminary on the other side of my desk. And I knew that I had to at least check out the seminary. So just to hedge my bets, I kept the law school information under my bed for a couple of years, but eventually it just became clear that I was called to a life of service. And you know what? On my worst day as a priest, I thank God that I didn't become a lawyer. Honorable profession, but wouldn't have been right for me. And then I'd always done media. I did freelance photography when I was in high school. I worked on campus radio station and newspaper. So when I had a chance to put the two together, oh my gosh, it's been great.
Well, I'm glad to hear you doing something good and doing something good for families everywhere. Thank you very much for inspiring people to, again, remember to pray and remember to stay faithful.
Thank you so much, Aaron. Thanks for having me here today.
Yeah, absolutely. Stay blessed. All right. Okay, we have each and every one of you with us still. We're going to take a quick break. Stay tuned. I'm going to show you the documentary here during the break. For those of the rest of you, stay tuned for these messages right after this. Stay tuned.
If I were to tell you this story, you say, you're a liar. Seriously, you can't make it up. You really cannot make it up. It's as simple as that.
A crowd estimated at 500,000 people gathered today in San Francisco's Golden Gate Park. Father Patrick Peyton drew the largest crowd in the history of San Francisco.
I'd like to speak to you about a remarkable man, Father Patrick Peyton.
Father Patrick Peyton.
Patrick Peyton.
Father Patrick Peyton.
Father Patrick Peyton. I know a man who has dedicated his life teaching others what prayer can do.
People try to describe Father Peyton, and it's almost like trying to carry water in your hands. It slides through.
It was almost unbelievable. You'll be looking around and all these people are here to listen to him.
The energy level was like somebody who was superhuman.
You might be saying with your voice, Hail Mary, full of grace, but your heart is telling God just what I said. Dear God, I love you.
People would be in tears listening to him because he had such a powerful voice.
It was just unreal to think that a young boy from the parish was mingling with all the film stars.
He never came back with an American accent. He was always Irish.
He was capable of anything, apparently. We didn't know it at the time.
I want to talk to you about my dear friend and mentor, Father Patrick Peyton.
He was a little bit of a brat when he was a teenager. You know, he was no saint, let me tell you.
I'm for God, for peace, for justice, mercy, truth, love.
He might have gotten knocked down, but he always got up.
I'm for stronger homes and loftier lives and the better use of time.
It was uncanny now, the way that people reacted to his voice. It surely was coming from God.
But first of all, I'm for prayer, family prayer. The family that prays together stays together.
Ensuring the highest quality standards every step of the way. As a family-owned company, we celebrate the power of human potential with a mission to inspire wellness in all. Try U-Theory Immune Plus Daily Wellness. 100% daily values of vitamin C, D3, and zinc. Go beyond the you of today and catch the you of tomorrow. U-Theory.
Welcome back. Yes, it is the morning show here on ABC, KMET, 1490 AM. Glad to have each and every one of you with us. Lots of talk, of course, about rules and what are rules in the U.S., of course, when it comes to face masks. Obviously, a lot of questions, especially in our own area. And again, I always say, and I see one of the comments that said it wasn't the governor's fault, but I beg to differ. And this is my own opinion, because I understand certain states and certain counties, of course, have taken a very lax portion across the U.S., Florida being one of them. And I always want to ask, well, so what is the current state of affairs there currently in the amount of deaths? You know how we've actually not talked about the amount of deaths in every county and or state, Jesse, as of late? Have you noticed how we've kind of been lax on that as of late? I feel like we kind of need to go back to that.
Now that you mention it, it's been a while since you've actually mentioned the numbers. I can kind of guess where they're at, but I don't want to guess.
Yeah, I almost want to show just based on what I'm seeing here again in just go to Google. Okay, just go to Google, take out some numbers very, very interestingly. Okay, and there's actually a case. Well, actually shows you where all the cases are at specifically and where the epicenters are at. Granted, and I've always said this, in some counties, it's not as bad as in other counties, right? The more diverse the population, the more tightly united it is, the more that people end up visiting. Of course, you're going to see situations, but we're all in this together around the world, okay? We're not stuck in a little county and a little area and a little city. All the time. Sometimes people end up having to travel and or go through cross state lines in order to visit family and or other things, or maybe there's a funeral that you're attending due to COVID. So I'm always taking very much aback to the person that says, well, it's not their fault, but I say, yeah, well, who do you know that died? I know 8 people personally that have died actually. So then you got to go with that, right? And then I know people, friends and family members of people that have actually died as well. So I don't care what conspiracy you have on this. The reality is, go meet somebody that's in the hospital with coronavirus, and you'll quickly say, oh, shoot, I'm going to shut my mouth. That's number one. Number two, the current cases, okay, among the top 3 in the U.S., all right, California at number 1, Texas at number 2. Yeah, good job. And Florida, number 3. New York went down to number 4, by the way, just so you know, okay?
Trailing behind New York? That's sad.
Yeah, Illinois, number 5, okay? California, with as many cases, has 3.62 million cases, okay? Now, the amount of deaths is the one that we're looking at, of course. But remember, don't forget, some people that actually get this still have problems for months to come. That's what we're seeing. So even though they get out of the hospital, they're having a hard time recovering. Okay. Plus they could get it again. Yeah, about that. 56,499 deaths in California alone. In Texas, 46,588. And in Florida, 32,254. All right. New York, 48,000. Illinois, 23,000. Now, somebody said to me the other day, one death is tragic. Many deaths are just a statistic because at some point you forget each and every life is important and you forget the families that it impacts. And then you say, oh yeah, that's right. So when you buy into the idea that, oh, okay, it's simply, it's my right to not wear a mask, it's my right to be free, and this is that. I say, well, you know what? It's not like they're saying this. It's not like they're saying, okay, oddly enough that the person, related it to like the Nazi regime. I say, well, I mean, they're not burning Bibles, are they? I mean, that to me would be seriously wrong, right? That I would be up in arms on that one for sure, right? They're not taking your faith away, are they? No. Are they creating problems for? I mean, because correct me if I'm wrong, that's what the Nazis did, right? You could not.
Did they? I don't know.
Yeah. Oh yeah, absolutely.
I take what I learned from movies. So you know what? They did do that in what? Temple of the Last Cure? No. The Indiana Jones movie where they're burning the books.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. Very specifically. Certain faiths were they were trying to abolish actually. And then there were other faiths that they allowed, provided they teach their way, right? Their way or the highway. But the reality is, okay, so back to face mask. I can't believe we're back to a year later. Are we repeating what happened a year ago? Did we not learn? Look, at the end of the day, what did we learn from a year ago? What did we learn? What have we learned? It's not a hoax. That's number one. Right? Wasn't that being taught around in last February and March that it was a hoax? So let's not go backwards, people. Number two, going forward, let's talk about that. Going forward, are we going to create the same problems that we had a year ago where we laxed everything around? Well, actually, I think around this time, just in about a week or two, we ended up going into a full lockdown. That's what we did last year. Then in April 10th or I don't remember, but before Easter, all of a sudden, what did you have Trump doing? At first, he was very serious about it for the first couple of weeks, right? And then all of a sudden, he's like, well, we're going to be over this. Don't worry about it. By Easter. How many people have died since last Easter? I've got graphs here to show you the spikes. You can't make this stuff up. But in January, this is just the U.S. Okay, let's see. You had spikes February 3rd, February, and it's been going down, thank God. But the spike was bigger than the one back in April. All right, so I'm just going to show you guys this because I feel like people don't listen to what I say because they just don't do the research. So I tell them do the research, and then they don't, and I go, okay, why not? So I'm just going to show this to our social media audience if you want to check out that. Again, this is on Google. Okay, I'm not making these numbers up. And if you trust Google and you trust everything that Google has to offer, then these are the numbers according to Google. And if you see that right there, you could bring up United States. You could pull up worldwide. Okay. This was April, right? This was the surge. And then of course summer came. You had a dip here, which was around May. Thank goodness. But then it started to slowly go back up. Now we practiced it. It wasn't as bad until October 30th. And then it started to skyrocket. Why? Well, October 30th, Halloween, right? You had a lot of things. All of a sudden, huge spike. Look at that. December 24th. Whoa. Worldwide. This is worldwide, by the way.
So it's pretty much whenever there's a major holiday is when we're going to see spikes regardless because people are going to get together.
Well, it's usually a 2 to 3 week delay.
Yeah.
right? But look at January 20th, a huger spike around the world. Now, thankfully, around the world it's been going down, but this is like the stock exchange, right? Like that's what this looks like. This is the graph there. But let's just go to the, United States again, right? Now, remember, these are all the countries that are reporting everything that's happening around the world. If you want to feel less about yourself and more about the world, then just, do one of the two. But here you go. It was in April, right? More reporting and everything. Well, we could talk about that. It went down. So at a good low time it seems to be in the summer, right? I would say after May 30th, we're going to be in a good spot, right? June, July, boom. And then if we prepare before October, again, cold and flu season, right? Which combined, we could probably take this curve off and then be okay. There was a spike after, let's see, it looks like there was a huge spike right about June 24th. But look at the numbers, people, and then plan accordingly based on last year's numbers. That's what smart people do. Seasonal, and of course, like you said, Jesse, certain spikes, obviously, with certain things that were going on. And I think that a lot of it was protesting and things grouping up, and there were other situations for the odd spikes, right? And you have to account for a 2 to 3 week minimum, right? 2 to 4 week minimum, because of the time frame it takes for you to get sick and or get all the things. So just wear a face mask. It's so easy. Seriously, that's the numbers right there. Okay, there you go. I'm not making this stuff up. Seriously. All right, people. I'm out of time. That's my time here on the morning show. We'll see you tomorrow. Same place, same channel. Be safe out there and stay blessed. All right, and for the rest of you tuning in, let's bring in your comments here. Let's see here. All right, let's go to the comments. Yeah, Mario says it breaks down by states for each country. Yeah, there you go. Mr. Pepe Pew says it's overblown. COVID-19 is just another bad flu season. You know what? Go get it then and get well from it. That's what I say. But seriously, does it take that in order to say, oh, does it? Because if you look at the stories of people, and I don't want your story to be that story, because there are so many people that have done that, have said that, and then they end up in the hospital and they go, this is no flu and or cold, man. Do you really want to chance that? Do you really want to chance that? I'd say no. I know people that go, well, don't wish bad on me. Well, don't throw bad out there, okay? Look, I talk passionately about this because I have nothing to gain. Just so you know, I don't get paid for my time on the air. I don't have a contract. I don't have an agreement, okay? You know what I have an agreement with? I have an agreement with throwing out information that is good, right, and true, all right? I don't get told what to say. Somebody recently went through, well, you probably get told. I don't get told what to say. If anything, I live from experience. My sister was in the hospital from coronavirus, but they didn't know what it was at the time. They figured it out with certain doctors and of things that we had to do, but she got full blown. Okay. And she got it twice, by the way, escaped it 3 other times due to, again, my sister's special needs. She was in the hospital last February, almost dying on her deathbed practically. Okay. Needed a blood transfusion. We were able to circumvent that. But then 3 weeks later, they wanted to put a feeding tube in her belly because they messed up with throwing the thing down her throat. And then the food that was going down her throat was going into her lungs. All right. Ventilators, even though they put it down, they could damage your throat, your esophagus. There's a lot of things that could go wrong when you're in the hospital. Okay. Avoid it. All right. So to anybody that says that to me, I always say, well, okay, how many people do you, well, I don't know anybody. How many people do you know? I know about 18 people. Then get out a little bit more. Okay. Get out a little bit more out of your circle of your 18 friends. Trust me, you'll find many more. I have to go to Arizona for a funeral for somebody that a whole family got sick. Granted, only one died, but it was one of the worst things for the rest of the family. Everybody was out of it. Okay. The other one went into the hospital as well, sister, 2 different hospitals. One died, the other. Come on, people. Seriously? I got stories for days of real life people getting sick and or dying. So many recovering. I'm not going to throw that out there that everybody's dying. It's not a 50% mortality rate. That would be terrible. Right? That's Ebola, by the way. Mario says, I can't believe people can deny that stuff for sure. Well, I say they deny it until they get it. And then they go, crap. And some really feel really good, right? Depending what strain you get. So be careful there with what you throw out there. Because God forbid you meet that person that says, oh, really? I just lost my mom to it. Thank you. You're a jerk. Don't be a jerk. Okay? Have some respect. Don't be that person. Let's see here. And if you don't like it, don't watch. Go away. Goodbye. Close the door. Didn't need you here. That's how I feel about it. Because when you lose family members due to coronavirus, which should have been or could have been avoided, then you'll understand the anger underneath what I say. Stephanie Reed says, I know Ohio is doing good over here. Yeah, some areas are doing really good, by the way. Again. Let's see. Mr. Pepe Pew says, but holidays revolves around religion, so they're trying to eliminate everything of God. Excuse me? Really? You're gonna relate? Oh, we're just gonna go back and forth, Pepe Pew. You're not Pepe Pew. Put your real name out there. Secondly, put your real picture up there. And thirdly, you know what? I'm gonna push you to the side just a moment because you're about to get me really mad. But let me answer that. Holidays revolves around religion, so they're trying to eliminate everything of God. How I don't believe God says if holidays are gone, that removes God. Does it? Does that stop you from practicing your faith? Now, if you're a faithful person, my question is this. Are you being faithful to those around you? Are you? Let's look at something back to God. I'm assuming you're Christian. Yes? Yes. Okay. So if you're Christian and or Catholic, right? Yes. Okay. You believe in the Father, the Son, and the Holy Ghost or Holy Spirit, depending what translation you read, right? Let's go back to the Son. What did he teach, right? Love your neighbor as yourself. Okay. Let's go with that. Love your neighbor as yourself. Are you loving your neighbor if you say, don't worry about it. I have my right. I get to do what I want. I don't need anybody to tell me what to do. I'll do what I want. That reminds me of the opposite. Don't be that person. Nah. Golden rule. Do unto others as you would have them do unto you. Or is it, and should it be, just do the right thing for others? It comes back around anyway. Don't worry about it. Don't be that person. That's not what God or Jesus taught. Is it? Is it? Imagine the Israelites fleeing Egypt, right? We're not going to do what you say, Moses. Come on, we'll do it our way. We like to be slaves. They had to be in the wilderness 40 years? It's terrible. Terrible. At one point they were like, man, let us go back to Egypt. At least there we had good food. Seriously. Nah, don't throw that out about religion and holidays and trying to eliminate everything of God. You can't eliminate everything of God. If anything, you can eliminate that out of yourself by being that type of person to say, you know what? I don't care about anybody else. How dare they tell me what to do? You're not a slave. Let's see. Patrice says this. At this point, people like me suffering loneliness want so bad to get out and see people and hug people. I agree with you on that, Patrice. I agree with you on that. I'm completely there with you. And I do get out. And I get my mom out, by the way. We go out. We, go go safe places. Wear the face mask. Simple. It's very simple. But it's better to be in person, outside, right? Outside. Inside can be a little problematic in certain areas, especially, depending on what area you're at. But it's true. Some areas are much safer than others. Much safer, okay? Countryside. If you live in one of these, that's nice that you have that. That's nice. If you live in the city, not so nice, right? You live around a lot of people that have, sick areas. Let's see. Maria says, anyone who thinks you're reading words by someone else really hasn't been paying attention to your show, eh? No, evidently not. They're usually the ones that come in and go, rah, 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 and then they leave and they never come back. That's why I say, okay, let me give you some special words there to live by. Algenia says, yes, just tuning in. I've lost 3 family members due to COVID. It's not a pretty picture. The facts and reality to this virus. Yeah. Our listeners, many of which, including Maria, are a nurse practitioner. So don't come in here going, blah, blah, blah. I go, oh, wait, now I know people. Yeah, now you know people that have suffered from this and or know people that know people. Now you can't say, I don't know people. Well, they're real people. Oh, yeah, that's right. Never mind. Algenia says, my family is a hugging group of folks. It's hard not to show that love. Love never fails. Be safe. Yeah, so there's that. They just need a particular thing that says, okay, let's see, a scan, and then you go, yep, you're COVID free. Let's hug, right? All right, people. Anyway, look, at the end of the day, stay safe out there. I do take a little ownership on, saying what I'm saying, but they're my opinions, right? Your opinions are your opinions. You're allowed to have your opinions. You don't want to wear a face mask? Don't wear a face mask. You and I will never hang out. Continue to do whatever you want to do in your way. And I hope you don't ever get sick or say, shoot. Am I regretting my life right now? Because you might be in an area where it's pretty safe, by the way. Just saying. I'm going to go back to the statistics, okay? The statistics are not mine, but we haven't talked about it for quite some time. I'm just going to go here, right now. These are the statistics that you could see. I don't believe statistics. I just Googled everything on Google and then find out about all the conspiracies. Well, then let's go to real reality here. Okay, map of cases, last 14 days. All right, so let's go in here and see, does it open anything up? Yep, ooh, look at that. Okay, so where are you at? Where are you at on this map, right? Now, a lot of people forget that, of course, the U.S., you have areas that, aren't always that bad. Total cases, California. There you go, 53,000. All right, this is just center. It's not saying that they're only in this area. 74,000. This map just goes, I guess, based on, I don't know, center of it all. Who knows? Oh, there we go. Let's see. But there you go. I don't know. City, state, I don't know. There's Canada, right? Then you got the Alaska. And then there you go. So you see the big hot spots right here, right? Ooh, low spot right there. How cool is that? Let's see. Asia. Oh, that's Russia. Sorry. Russia, 142,000, March 1st to 14th. This is just the last 14 days, by the way. Woo, look at this area. What is going on here? France, Italy. Yikes. Look at all these dots. Whoa. Not as bad in Africa, oddly enough. Scattered, right? What is this? Iceland. Iceland's doing really good. Look at them. Boom. Oh, that's Greenland. Yeah, right there. 1 case. Yeah. No one wants to live there. It's actually got a pretty big population. Iceland. 23 cases. Okay. They got a handle on it. Usually more stringent, by the way, than us, right? There's Mexico, 79,000. Not as bad as here, huh? Weird. And look at this. South. I always say, if you're going to be American, which American are you going to be? South American? North American? I know it's a thing. I know I get a little testy with people. Look at that. Brazil, 932,000 cases. Oh, my goodness. That's not. Oh, yeah, that is. That's South America. Oh, well, I'm in North America and then be North American. So there you go. Don't just be American. All right, people. But there you go. What I say that to the people that go, I live in America, speak English. I lived in America too. We speak Spanish. So just kidding. Like, that's my new tagline. What? It's come on. I find people certainly have like certain things or characteristics in them that they kind of, I know, I'm being a little rude. Okay, I won't be rude anymore. Mr. Pippa Pew, if you're still there, just learn to love, okay? If you're going to quote God to me, go back to the Bible and remember the loving part. All right, people. Let's see. Canada, Windsor, Essex County. It's near Detroit. What's our totals on Google? Oh, you know what? Let's look. I was like, thank you for asking that. Let's see. Canada, Windsor, Essex County. I don't know where that is on the map. Hold on. Well, let's see. We could do Canada. Bring up Canada. Let's see. In the seas. There it is. Canada, eh? There we go. Those are your statistics, okay? Let's look at, let's see. It doesn't bring up that. Canada, all time. Yep, let's do all time. Okay. So this was a spike for you guys in May 7th, right? And then you had a good low of about right about here, right? This was your low between. You had a mini spike right here in June, and then back to summer. Boo, really good until October. Then a mini spike, right? Then right here, October 11th, and then it was a steady incline, right? At the peak right here, almost, which is good, in that it wasn't a bigger peak than ours. Does that make sense? So you guys had right here, January, after the holidays, January 7th. And again, you have cold and flu season, right? This is standard for cold and flu season. And now you're right about here, which is great. This is why you guys are doing really good. So keep that up. You guys are doing really good there. Your counties, let's see here. I think you're in this area, right? Let's see, Ottawa, Quebec. Sorry, I don't know how to do Essex. I want to see you're in that area, because if you're going to Michigan, you're probably in this area. Sorry, I don't know I've always wanted to visit Canada. But there you go. Woo, look at all those. Woo, yikes. Looks like chickenpox, right? I don't know. What? This is not my area. What? Oh, well, okay. Let's look at Florida. Yep. Scattered around. Okay. That's good. Still, what on the list? Third? Yeah, about that. You get it? Yeah, about that. Gina says, Canada is nice and clean. Yeah. So, but there you go. All right. Those don't throw stuff at me if you're not going to look at numbers. And again, even though it's a statistic, those are a lot of lives lost. There are a lot of lives lost. There are more lives lost in with flu. Okay, let's go to flu. Flu deaths as well. All right, let's do that as well. Why not? Since we're going to do it, because I know that's what people always do. Let's see. Influenza, estimated deaths. What are the numbers there? 2020. From the flu itself, which we've talked about. Usually there's about, on average, 40,000 deaths a year. So that's an average just from the flu, by the way. I think 39,000 is what the last 34,157 estimated deaths in 2019, by the way. Yep, just looked up the number. That's the average, by the way. I think lowest it's ever been in the last decade or so is 12,000. I think we looked up the numbers a while back. So was it just like the flu? No. And it's a little bit more severe than the average flu, right? Yeah. Worldwide. Okay. Now, is it a part of a pandemic? Well, that goes back to, was it engineered or was it made in a lab? That's a whole other discussion. One of which I'm sure we're going to have probably in about 8 months from now. All right. All right, but in the meantime, let's have fun. Let's enjoy safely. Let's not be shut-ins. I will say that. Let's learn to get out and do what we got to do safely, right? Let's be with each other, call each other up, virtual each other up. We still have connections. People are going back in many ways. Just don't do so in a bad fashion or form. Take necessary precautions. Wipe your hands. Be very clean. Try to use more antibacterial soap and other such stuff. All right. It's not that hard. All right, people. I appreciate you. Make it a great day, whatever you do. Remember, life is worth living, and live so safely. Bye-bye, everyone.